Have you ever fancied parading through Rio during the Carnival? Or being trackside for the Monaco Grand Prix? Well, you name the event and we'll name the cruise you could take to get you there. This week on Planet Cruise Weekly, it's all about events you can cruise to. Well, hello and welcome to another great episode of Planet Cruise Weekly. I'm Keith and I'm rejoined by my old cruise mucker, Glenn.
How are you, mate?
I'm good, mate. I'm really good, thanks.
What are we doing today, then?
Well, today, funnily enough, we're talking about great events that take place around the world, either annually or maybe every few years, that you can take a cruise ship to get to.
Right, okay.
And sometimes actually stay on board while the event's going on, or maybe just call in for a day and sometimes get loads of extras thrown in.
Yeah, we do a lot of those now. A lot of the sporting events we do now, Grand Prix and things like that, we do a lot of it with now.
It's very exciting. So this week we're taking a look at the growing trend within the industry of itineraries that are designed to specifically let you enjoy, participate and indulge in some of the world's greatest and most iconic events. From elite sporting competitions and races to cultural festivals and street parties, cruising to major events is now a popular segment of what we loosely call theme cruising.
Now, lines like Celebrity Cruises and Azamara Club Cruises has designated portions of their cruising portfolio to itineraries focused on big name events, while other cruises unintentionally happily collide with certain sporting events that are more itinerant in nature.
A huge advantage to you, the customer, is that cruising to these events can often save you money when compared with putting together a land-based visit on your own. For example, there's potentially huge savings in cruising to the Monaco Grand Prix, since the cruise fare is often far less than that of a hotel stay, combined with restaurant meals during race weekend during Monte Carlo, when everyone seems to triple their prices.
On top of that, these type of trips often include show or race tickets, and packages might include transfers as well as call extras tied to the event theme, such as cocktail parties, event-related VIP parties and after-show concerts.
So let's take a look at some of the big name events that you can attend via cruise. And don't forget that on most of these, Planet Cruise can add on extra nights in most of these destinations for you to explore them even further. Also, please be aware that at the time of you watching this episode, some of the details may have changed, so it's always best to double check with us directly by chatting to one of our really brainy finger on the pulse.
Coiled spring of knowledge.
That's him, basically, so get in touch.
Any cruise lines and itineraries mentioned in this episode are just some examples. Planet Cruise offers a wide range of event cruises to suit your requirements. Call us for details. So let's look at something close to my heart, which is of course the World Cup football. Now, this is held every 4 years. The Football World Cup is an incredible opportunity to support your country in some of the world's most diverse and stunning destinations. An example of this is in 2018, Russia was playing host as supporters for the 32 nations that qualified to make their way to witness the beautiful game. Now, Russia's capital city, Moscow, will be the epicenter of the competition and is one of the most fascinating cities in the world, and handy makes a popular stop on many cruise holidays.
Plenty of mainstream lines such as Holland America, Azamara, Princess and P&O are offering cruises during the FIFA World Cup in June and July 2018, which is part of their Baltic Explorer itineraries. Now, you get an overnight stop ranging from 1 to 3 nights in St. Petersburg, which is undoubtedly a highlight here, with other ports of call including Stockholm, Helsinki, Tallinn, Berlin and Oslo. It's also worth noting that cruising during the World Cup is really enjoyable, particularly on the British lines, because, for example, P&O and Cunard offer passengers live, round-the-clock satellite coverage of World Cup matches on big screens.
Not if you watch in England, it ain't.
What do you mean?
Puts a damper on your holiday watching England.
Yeah!
The other nations is quite interesting to see.
Very true, yeah. But you get to watch the World Cup, and regardless of how well England do or don't do, it will be on the TV.
Now, if football's not your thing, don't worry, because if the other half's sitting in front of the big screen watching the football, there are plenty of things to keep you occupied whilst on the ship. Now, if you're going to book for a World Cup cruise, we would suggest booking early, as these cruises do go really quickly.
Probably the most famous party in the world, during Rio de Janeiro's Carnival, millions take to Rio's streets for 5 days, wearing colourful costumes and dancing away their doldrums in a collective celebration of life. The festival usually kicks off in around February-March time, before a more solemn and sombre Lenten period that leads up to Easter.
Now, several cruise lines offer sailing to the region in time for the event. Celebrity Cruises runs a 40-night South America and Carnival itinerary from Buenos Aires, which includes, amongst others, onboard samba dances. Now, this itinerary includes an overnight in Buenos Aires plus 3 days of the Carnival revelry in Rio. Other ports of call include Sao Paulo, Buenos in Brazil, and Punta del Este and Montevideo in Uruguay. Now we're moving on to a very popular package that we started a couple of years here with Planet Cruise. So if you've ever wanted to experience the excitement, thrill and glamour of the Grand Prix, why not combine all of this exhilaration and adrenaline into one bespoke cruise and stay? You can see the majority of these races and get there by cruise. You've got Singapore, Japan, Abu Dhabi, Spain and of course the famous Monaco.
Now this can include VIP hospitality packages, which have Q&A sessions with former drivers and tickets to the races themselves. Now for us here at Planet, we are planning to host the Monaco, Barcelona and Singapore Grand Prix in 2018, and this will include team members helping you to get to see the races, basically looking after all your needs and helping you make the most of the experience. Now funnily enough, we actually released an episode of Planet Cruise Weekly after the Barcelona Grand Prix where we spoke about the experience when it was hosted by Planet Cruises. So click the above link there just to see that episode and find out more about what it's like to experience that via Planet Cruise.
So let's start first of all with the Monaco Grand Prix. Now along with the Indianapolis 500 and the Le Mans 24 Hours, Formula One's Monaco Grand Prix is one of the most famous races in the world. Traditionally held around May, it's been a regular fixture in the F1 calendar since 1929. VIP parties, $100 million yachts anchored in Monte Carlo harbour and Gucci diamond draped tourists strutting around Ferrari choked streets of the Principality are all part of the entertainment of the race weekend.
Given Formula One's popularity and the spectacular coastal location, it isn't surprising to find that there are many cruise options for the Monaco Grand Prix, and the majority of itineraries spend at least 1 or 2 days in Monte Carlo. Now, we're not already included in the package. Planet Cruise can arrange your tickets for the race too.
Depending on your budget and the level of immersion in the festivities you wish to enjoy, there are lots of options. P&O Cruises has an itinerary that is timed to coincide with the Grand Prix, which sails for 7 nights from Malta and brings you cruises to Villefranche, which is about 30 minutes from Monaco and of course in time for the race.
Alternatively, if you have more time and would prefer a no-fly option, then Fred Olsen also offers a 16-night round-trip voyage from Liverpool that will call in on neighbouring Nice just in time for the Grand Prix.
And Windstar sails 7-night Barcelona round trips, which will often offer Grand Prix themed extras like a race day brunch, reserve seating at the qualifying and final races, and even occasionally touts a Formula One host on board the ship.
Another popular date on the F1 itinerary is the Spanish Grand Prix held in Barcelona, which gives you a plethora of options of either flying direct to Barcelona and including a hotel stay prior to or post the race, which is on top of your cruise, or choosing from any number of Mediterranean itineraries that stop in Barcelona during the race that may leave from the UK or made home ports such as Palma de Mallorca.
The delightful city of Barcelona basks in the Mediterranean sunshine throughout the year. Boasting one of the world's most instantly recognisable skylines, the city is filled with boundless Catalan culture, historical treasures, sun-kissed beaches and world-famous cuisine. Fueled with action at every corner, the Spanish F1 Grand Prix Barcelona circuit track is famed for producing spectacular races and nail-biting finishes, and you can expect all drivers to be battling to win the coveted crown and be hailed the champion of Spain.
So once again, as with Monaco, Planet Cruise offer escorted tours that actually include all your transfers to and from the track, a drinks reception on certain packages, and also a host available in resort to ensure smooth running of all the operations. Exclusive Planet F1 packages include sailings with Norwegian Cruise Lines, Silver Sea, Costa and Royal Caribbean.
Moving on to now the Singapore Grand Prix, and the tropical island state of Singapore, located off the southern tip of Malaysia, is renowned for its style, cuisine and spectacular skylines that bring the city to life. The race takes place on a street circuit that rivals the very best in the world, with the city's famous illuminated skyline providing a truly amazing backdrop. Singapore has swiftly established itself as one of the most dramatic and atmospheric races on the calendar.
Now, Singapore's introduction to the Formula One calendar made history in 2008 when it became the first Grand Prix to take place at night. Now, as the circuit continues to thrill audiences around the world and test drivers to the limit, this spectacular night race is here to stay. Now, a lot of the deals for this will include the chance to see the qualifying race from the grandstand, as well as the actual race, and chances to go on the track and after-race concerts. Examples of the performers on the after-race concerts are Duran Duran, Ariana Grande, Calvin Harris, Seal, and much, much more.
Now, keeping up with the sporting theme momentarily, an option with many golf fans may never have considered is using a cruise to attend the British Open. The oldest of the four major championships, it's a rite of passage for any golf fan, and some cruise lines are offering opportunities to attend each year. Carnoustie Golf Links in Scotland and Celebrity's 12-night British Isles and British Open voyage offers access to the event via a 2-hour transfer from the port of call at Edinburgh via Newhaven in Scotland.
Another good choice here is Azamara's 13-night British Open voyage, sailing from Southampton, England to Edinburgh in Scotland on Azamara Journey, and it stops along the way at several ports in Scotland, Northern Ireland, Ireland and the Isle of Man. The golf-themed voyage, organised in partnership with the golf travel pros Perry Golf, will get passengers tickets to the final round at the Open, as well as 6 rounds of golf en route.
So besides Rio's Carnival, another way to celebrate the pre-Lent season of excess is to attend the Mardi Gras in New Orleans. The extravaganza centres on parades where you can collect beads, toys and trinkets thrown from festival floats. Although nighttime revelling in the French Quarter can be raucous, G-rated parades, family picnics and elegant balls are the true traditions of the citywide celebration.
Several lines offer options that call into New Orleans during the Mardi Gras, but the pick of the bunch, we think, is Celebrity Cruise's Mardi Gras cruise that runs a round trip from Fort Lauderdale. It stops in Grand Cayman and Mexico, Cozumel for Mexico, which is a great island, as well as 3 days in New Orleans that are primed for Mardi Gras festivities. On board, you can take in jazz performers and events like a Mardi Gras themed warm-up party, and in port, sign up for excursions that feature grandstand seating for the colourful parade.
Now, perhaps less well known but still deserving a mention is the New Orleans Jazz and Heritage Festival, aka Jazz Fest, held around April and May every year. Now, don't be put off by the title, as the festival encompasses all types of music, not just jazz, and is jam-packed with big names acts. 2018 headliners include Aerosmith, Aretha Franklin, Sting, Jack White from the White Stripes, Beck, Lionel Richie and more. And between tunes, dig into traditional Louisiana cuisine and peruse regional crafts on sale from local artisans.
Now, a great way to enjoy the festival would be on board a 7-night Mississippi River cruise between New Orleans and Memphis on the American Cruise Line's Queen of the Mississippi.
This was featured the other night on television.
Was it?
Jay McDonald. It looked absolutely fantastic.
Yeah.
Really, really good.
Now, included is a pre-cruise hotel stay in the heart of New Orleans the night before, giving passengers the chance to hit up the festival independently prior to embarkation. Ocean cruise options include Celebrity's 11-night Jazz Fest and Caribbean sailing round trip from Miami. Few film festivals embody the glamour and sophistication of the silver screen scene, with its many sophisticated stars and starlets, like the French Riviera's Ode to Cinema, the Cannes Film Festival. The event has been held annually since 1946, and visitors to Cannes during the festival period can try to catch a glimpse of the star-studded events that unfold along the red carpet of the Palais du Festival. Now you can check out the imprints of some of the 150 stars' hands at the Walk of the Stars as well. It's an incredible experience.
Some sailings call into Cannes right in time for the fabulous Film Fest, and you can speak to us here at Planet Cruise for any festival tickets or events which aren't typically part of the cruise line's excursion offerings.
The New York Fashion Week is a biannual model and media-packed event held in New York City each February and September, and it's the perfect opportunity to don your finest threads and experience the fashion epicenter of the world. You can see the beautiful people strut their stuff as the biggest names in fashion unveil their freshest collections in one of the most important fashion collections and shows in the world. Now, recently, Cunard have introduced a transatlantic crossing fashion week, sailing on board the stunning Art Deco-inspired Queen Mary 2.
Now, sticking with the Big Apple, how about staying a few nights in New York and catching Andy Murray in action at Flushing Meadows during the US Open, followed by a cruise from New York. Typically held around August, September, there are plenty of cruises from New York to Bermuda, Florida, the Bahamas, the Caribbean, and up into New England and Canada.
Now, closer to home, the Royal Edinburgh Military Tattoo takes place at the historic Edinburgh Castle in August and is one of Scotland's most significant cultural events. More than 1,200 performers come from around the globe to present music, dance and military pageantry and much, much more. The nightly event is capped off with a massive fireworks display.
Now, Holland America runs a 14-night Northern Isles sailing round trip from Amsterdam, where the ship stays for 2 days in Edinburgh during the tattoo time.
But probably the best of the bunch is Celebrity Cruises' 12-night British Isles cruise. Now, this round-trip voyage is out of Amsterdam and features 2 days in Edinburgh for the festival.
Now, if you fancy combining a love of horse racing and a visit down under, then a cruise to the Melbourne Cup is just a ticket. It's one of Australia's major thoroughbred horse races called the Race That Stops a Nation, and it definitely does. Cup Day is a public holiday and the state of Victoria where the race is held, and it's celebrated by many Australians nationwide. Racing fans looking for a more social experience can book special dining and entertainment packages. There's even a fashion on the field contest in which the best dressed woman on the course can win cash prizes.
Now, there are many other big non-annual sporting events that you can also cruise to that we haven't had time to mention here. International cricket in the West Indies, Lions tours, the Rugby World Cup and many, many more. So our advice is, if you have an event that you want to attend that's coming up, get in touch with us here at Planet Cruise, speak to one of our team and we'll find you the right cruise to transport you there in style.
And if you need any more info or you'd like to comment or share your experience with us, then please don't hesitate to get in touch with one of our team of cruise and destination experts. We'd love to hear from you, so get your comments in below and let us know what events you're going to this year. I'm personally looking forward to the golf on the British Open. That's one I've always wanted to attend.
And for me, well, I know we talked about it earlier, weren't we, but the World Cup. So from myself, Keith and Glenn, this has been Events You Can Cruise To. Thanks for watching, take care, we'll see you again next week. Hopefully this has been another informative episode of Planet Cruise Weekly.
Always informative.
Hi everyone, thanks very much for watching the video. Please don't forget to comment and subscribe below, and remember to click the bell to get those notifications turned on. And if you're looking for more fantastic travel content like this, then click on the videos to the right. It will be really, really informative. Or you can click on the Planet logo to the left and go to our website. There's some really fantastic deals. Thanks for watching.